Halftime is over. Time to get back to the action from this week in Michigan high school sports here on State Champs. How about a quick game summary of what we've seen so far? We went west. We went further west. And we went north as we checked out some critical clashes from week 7 of the high school football season. We featured a pair of matchups from the pitch and witnessed some clutch performances at the state regionals in girls golf and boys tennis. I kid you not. State Champs began in the fall of 2002. We've covered literally thousands of games. What memorable moments took place 5, 7, 10 years ago in high school sports? This week in State Champs history is right around the corner. You field hockey, volleyball, and water polo fans, don't go anywhere. We reward your patience soon. Let's get back into the fury, shall we? A pair of massive matchups in football from Southeast Michigan. Big Week 7 matchup in the Catholic League Central Division as the defending Division III state champs Orchard Lake St. Mary's went on the road to face their foe, Detroit Catholic Central, at the newly named Tom Mack Field. We move all the way to 3 minutes to go in the fourth. A couple of field goals gave St. Mary's a 6-zip lead. Trying to get something going, Shamrock freshman quarterback Austin Brown picked off by the 15-year-old junior phenom, Josh Ross. He celebrates 16 on Halloween and had 13 tackles in this one too. Resulting drive for OLSM, senior running back Justin Myrick is gonna get loose, breaking off a 26-yard touchdown. That made it 14-0. Myrick rushed for 122 on the night. 30 seconds left. Shamrocks trying to ride the comeback trail. Nice escapability by Brown. This TD made it 14-7, but the Catholic Central offense limited to just 34 yards rushing in the game. CC's Cole Gingell with the onside kick. It takes a fortuitous bounce, but recovered by Orchard Lake. St. Mary's now with a good chance of getting into the Prep Bowl in a couple of weeks, solidly in second with the win, 14-7, the final.
You know that they're excited. We're playing at their place. They haven't beat you since 2010. They're going to be ready because they think tonight's their night.
Couple of miles we go for a big same city KLAA South fight. 4-2 Livonia Churchill taking the short bus trip to face 3-3 Livonia Franklin. It's been 5 years since the Patriots have tasted victory over the Chargers. This was Military Appreciation Night. Both teams dug in. First quarter, Churchill quarterback Evan Cummings on the keeper. Chargers led 13-7 at the end of the first quarter. The Pats, well aware this was a must-win game. This is the junior Jacob Clark on the end around. Just breaks the plane. Franklin up a digit. Churchill responds with under 3 minutes to go in the half. Cummings had an amazing night, 10 of 18 for 216 and 2 scores through the air. Mike Hill hauls in a 26-yard score. Chargers led 19-17 at the break. The Patriots not standing pat. Third quarter now, senior tank Nate Binkowitz on the handoff, 15-yard rumble, Franklin up 24-19. Late in the fourth now, Franklin clinging to a 30-27 lead until Binkowitz busts it open. 22 carries, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns. This sealed it. Livonia Franklin wins 43-27. Playoff hopes still alive. Don't worry, everybody. We got more football coming up for you a little bit later in the show, that of the Upper Peninsula variety. Even got some great field hockey highlights, so stay tuned for that. Right now, Tom Markowski is here to talk about the Hungry Howie's Michigan Mr. Football race. And what we want to do is have a little fun and talk about maybe a couple of the guys who we think have a really good chance right now of winning the whole thing if it were to end today. You've got a favorite, a guy who's taken his team already to the state finals once before.
Josh Jackson, the quarterback out of Saline. Go on our website and check out all the stats for all our 10 candidates, and you'll see Josh every week is putting up some silly numbers. And a lot of times he's only playing a half or sometimes just 3 quarters. But, he's rushing for 80 yards, couple touchdowns, throwing for, 150 to 200. And this is consistently week in and week out. And more than that, what I like about him is his leadership and how he brings his team together. He showed that last season throughout the playoffs, and he's doing it again this year.
He is a dynamic player. He can beat you in many ways, and I would say he is definitely a front runner right now. Let's talk about another Jackson, and that is Tristan Jackson. at West Bloomfield. This is a guy who's a quarterback, also plays wide receiver. In fact, that's where he's been leaning towards more. So I think they can maybe groom another quarterback just in case Tristan maybe should go down in the playoffs, because this is a team, West Bloomfield, despite just winning their first playoff game ever a year ago, they feel the means to make a long run in the state playoffs, and it starts with Tristan.
Well, they already beat Clarkston. I think that was a big monkey off their back. They did not beat Clarkston last year. Sure, they had that playoff win in last year's state playoffs. This year, I think they have more confidence. 6-0 record. They got a chance to get in 2 or 3 playoff games at home.
Absolutely. This is a guy who definitely, the team is lighting it up offensively, and Jackson looks phenomenal. So those are a couple of guys we think are our favorites. Of course, we do like what Kyle Thomas has done at Walled Lake Western. We think if that team surprises everyone and in Division II gets through who they need to get through, he's going to be another favorite.
He's kind of a sleeper because he's not a really highly rated player as far as recruiting, but you talk about numbers, he's putting them up.
Go to statechampsnetwork.com, click on the Hungry Howie's Mr. Football banner right there on the homepage. Vote for your favorite. The winner gets an automatic spot into our Final Four. We've got about 3 to 4 more weeks of this voting to go on. Right now, Des Fitzpatrick of Waterford-Mott, wide receiver, is currently leading the way. But go to statechampsnetwork.com right now.
Hey guys, I'm Lauren Jabara. Did you know that State Champs has been around for 13 years already? It's crazy to think. During our hour-long shows, we're going to be recovering some of the most memorable moments in State Champs history. Send us a tweet at StateChampsNet to talk about games that you want us to cover.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
You've seen our pink pizza boxes. They've raised millions of dollars for breast cancer research and inspired thousands of people, just like Wendy, to share their stories.
These 12-year-old girls opened my heart wide open and filled me with love. And all of the girls rallied around me and they were hugging me, and I literally just broke down sobbing.
This October, for every pizza sold and every story shared, we will donate to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Together, we can beat breast cancer.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
When you sit down with attorney Sabrina Cronin and her law firm, they'll stand up for your rights. Backed by a full-service investigative division, Cronin Law delivers results, whatever your legal issues may be. Your problems on the table, and see how much more Cronin Law can do for you.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Winner of the Michigan Emmy Award for Outstanding Youth-Based Television 5 times. This is the original high school sports show, State Champs. I'm Lauren Plant, and I'm proud to have been a part of nearly all 500 episodes over the last 13 years. That's a long time, and that's a lot of show. So let's take a look back, shall we, at this week in State Champs history. Let's start with some student athletes that we've featured over the years. A decade ago, Northville's Ava Olgren was one of the top swimmers in the entire nation. Swam for the Mustangs in her senior season. She won the 200-yard IM and the 500 free at the MHSAA state finals. She would go on to swim at Auburn and was an NCAA champion in the 400 and 200 IM in 2007 and 2008. Olgren competed at the 2009 World University Games and won 5 gold medals, the most for any athlete from Auburn. She now works for Starbucks in Seattle to promote wellness. Cool. A few years later, 2008 to be exact, in boys soccer, Detroit Catholic Central's Josh Gatt had star written all over him. Set to play his college ball at Indiana, he was given an opportunity to play professionally in Europe. And he took it. Gatt was called up to the U.S. national team in 2012, but an injury prevented him from playing at the time. Just 24 years old now, Gatt is still getting it done at the pro level in Norway. Let's go to This Week on the Gridiron from 2008. big matchup in the Southeastern Conference between Chelsea and Ann Arbor Pioneer. Michigan State fans, you remember running back Nick Hill? Well, in high school, he ran wild at Chelsea High School. You have to admit, he bears a striking resemblance to former Michigan running back Mike Hart. In this game, and in comeback fashion versus Ann Arbor Pioneer, Hill carried the rock 40 times for 340 yards and a 35-27 victory. Nick is holding on to that dream of one day competing in the NFL. And finally, from this week in 2010, Brother Rice High School turned 50. To celebrate, the defending Division I state champs Detroit Catholic Central agreed to play Brother Rice at Wayne State for the 50th anniversary game. This was before any thought of having the Prep Kickoff Classic there, and the Shamrocks came in riding a 20-game winning streak, #1 in the state. The Wounded Warriors needed a win to keep any hope of the playoffs alive. This was a hard-fought battle. Brother Rice pounded the rock and played a good defensive game as they upset CC 17-3. Hope you've enjoyed another round of This Week in State Champs History.
Back to more football. I'm Jerry Taylor in the UP. It was rivalry week across the UP. We start with Iron Mountain at neighboring Kingsford. Kingsford with the rock early, looking to get their offense in gear. Just one big problem. Carson Wonders sacks Brandon Kolakowski. Chris Hofer and the Flivers trailed by 6 after the first quarter. To the second, Iron Mountain within striking distance yet again. Aaron Bolo slings it downfield. Ryan Michaud hauls it in and gets a foot in bounds. Touchdown Iron Mountain, and they led 12-0. Midway through the second, here comes Kingsford. Kolakowski turns and fires to his right. Brendan McGuire makes the grab, finds the gap, and there's nothing but green grass and Pater in front of him. McGuire goes 67 yards for the score. Kingsford wins a nail-biter, 14-12 over Iron Mountain. In Ishpeming, the Hematites played rival Negaunee, both teams undefeated coming into this one. First quarter on 4th and goal at the 1, Isaac Olson takes the handoff, tries to punch it in, but Owen LaJoy is there to take him down. The Miners got the ball back but couldn't score, so Ishpeming tries again on its next drive. Third down in the end zone, Ozzie Corp finds Luke Coolyu for the acrobatic catch at 2 points, and it's 8-0 Hematites. And the offense was rolling from there. On the next drive, Corp to the end zone, and it's Coolyu yet again with another fantastic grab. 2 more points, 16-0 Hematites. Negaunee responds late in the second at the 1-yard line. It's Brock Aho with a QB keeper. However, in the end, Ishpeming wins it 22-16. In Munising, the Mustangs in pink taking on Bark River Harris. The Broncos open up the scoring. Alex Mathias plunges in from 1 yard out for the lead. Munising responds with their own TD. Will Seymour ties things up with a good old quarterback sneak. Later, more Mustangs action. Corey Cody, running like a wild horse, puts the Stangs in scoring position, and guess what? They do just that. Munising wins it 19-12. That's it for the Football Fury. I'm Jerry Taylor.
If you've missed any of today's show, not to worry. Head on over to our website, statechampsnetwork.com. You can watch all of the highlights right from there. Coming up next, Kyle Bogey dishes us the deets on some of the top recruits in the state. You don't want to miss out. Stay tuned.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for 1 medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
Snap Camp is Metro Detroit's original Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, and we're still making the best deals every day. During the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, lease a 200S for $139 a month for 24 months, or a 300 Limited for just $199. Celebrating 25 years of giving customers a superior buying experience. That's Snap Camp on Telegraph Road in Redford.
Snap Camp, Metro Detroit's original. Snap Camp, Snap Camp.
Can't wait until Sunday to get your high school football fix? Relax. 10 to 11 p.m. every Friday night, tune into the State Champs High School Football Radio Show on Detroit Sports 105.1. Tom Markowski, Scott Bernstein, and me, Lauren Plant, bring you the latest scores and breaking news. We'll take your calls, tweets, and emails. You can listen online or download the app. great interviews, top-notch analysis, and all the latest scores. It's the State Champs High School Football Radio Show every Friday night from 10 to 11 p.m. on Detroit Sports 105.1.
FAR Therapeutic Arts and Recreation uses creative arts therapy and recreation opportunities to develop the potential of individuals with special needs as teammates, as family members, and as members of the community.
You always get email hard guys. I'm small for you today.
While their needs are special, their dreams are common. Play hockey, make friends, be a part of a team. Visit far-therapy.org.
Kyle Bogie with this week's Recruit Report. We begin with Michigan State now vaulting to #1 in the recruiting rankings for the 2016 class after securing a big commitment from forward Miles Bridges. That one of the best players in the entire country. You add him to point guard Cassius Winston, also wing Josh Langford coming up from Alabama, and Michigan State already has a monster class to follow up with fantastic 2015 class. So now in that 2016 class, you focus on Josh Jackson. He's the #1 overall player, offers from all over the country. He's a kid who right now I believe could play in the NBA, although there is a rule restricting him from doing so. He will go to college for 1 year, and I think Michigan State is a great option. He's 6'6", 6'7", great instincts, a passer. He's a shooter. He's a tough kid. Detroit native. Had a chance to watch him early in his career before he went out to Los Angeles to play for a prep school. He's a real deal, and he's a kid that can absolutely change a program. And if you add him to the talent that's already on their way to play for the Spartans and Tom Izzo, I think it makes Michigan State an instant favorite for a second national championship. Shifting to football recruiting, a couple of new offers out in that 2017 class. St. Joseph defensive end Corey Malone Hatcher picking up an offer from Wisconsin. Also Columbia, academics looming large in that recruitment. Also Walled Lake Western wideout Cody White picks up a new offer from a Big Ten program, that the Indiana Hoosiers. And Dearborn Fordson junior offensive lineman Zach Darwich taking a visit to Toledo, also to Michigan. There's also a new commitment. Senior wide receiver / athlete Rodney Graves of Detroit Cody commits to PJ Fleck in Western Michigan. With this week's Recruit Report, I'm Kyle Bogie. Now let's go back to the Ultimate Sports Blitz with Ryan Terpstra.
Number 8 ranked Zeeland heading to Hudsonville to face the number 5 Eagles at their new pool in boys water polo. First quarter, Hudsonville in the blue caps with possession, working their offense. Ethan Jones hits Lucas Petzold in the middle. He finds the back of the net for the 1-0 Eagles lead. These two schools split the first 2 meetings on the season, and Hudsonville hoping to take the rubber match. It's Jones again, this time setting up Jason Dahlman, and the lefty scores as Hudsonville built a 3-0 lead. In the second quarter, Zeeland would come alive. Off the foul, battling for the ball, Micah DeYoung on the reset. Lofts it up for Gabe Trevino, who skies for the pass and scores. Zeeland down 3-1 at half. Third quarter, Zeeland back at it. On the perimeter, Austin Mills searching for an opening. Gives to Ben Thomas, who loads up and delivers a rocket past the goalie to cut the lead to just 1. Hudsonville needing an answer. Anthony Shepard to Aaron Luke. Back to Shepard, who winds up and scores. Hudsonville able to pull away from Zeeland by a final of 9-5. Forest Hills United facing East Grand Rapids as both teams tune up for their field hockey postseason. First half, United in black, and they gain possession. Belcotti gets it into the middle. First shot is blocked, but Catherine Hansen cleans it up for a 1-0 lead as Forest Hills United goes into half. Second half, off the restart. Great cross to Hannah Gavley. Her shot is stopped. Caitlin Murphy fighting for it and pokes the ball across the line. United now with a 2-0 lead. East Grand Rapids coming back with the offensive pressure. Jesse Truby is wide open up front, but a kick save and a beauty by sophomore goalie Molly Groney. She is able to keep the sheet clean as Forest Hills United gets a 2-0 win over their rivals East Grand Rapids. We stay with field hockey and go to the Catholic League semifinal at Madonna University. Farmington Hills Mercy taking on Bloomfield Hills Academy of Sacred Heart. Pick the game up in the second half. We are scoreless, but Sacred Heart is in blue, and they're trying to get on the board. A couple of attempts in front of the net. They are still denied, and after regulation, we went into overtime, still tied at 0-0. This would go into a shootout, and Sacred Heart went up first. It would be the sophomore, Kelly Keating, putting it into the back of the net, and the Gazelles take a 1-0 lead. We go to later in the shootout. Mercy needs a goal here to continue, and they get it from the junior Regan Castle. She recovers and puts it home, and they go into sudden death. The Gazelles would answer. It's the senior, Gretchen Lemon, coming through with the goal, and Sacred Heart is up now 2-1. Once again, Mercy needs to tie it up for this shootout to go on, but Castle would be denied this time by netminder Molly Lynch. Sacred Heart celebrates as they beat Mercy 2-1 to advance to the Catholic League Championship. Let's check out the #1 girls volleyball team in the state, the Novi Wildcats, taking on the rivals from Northville, the Lady Stangs. Novi has only dropped 2 games this year. That's games, not matches. Northville would push Novi as game 1 was 24-23 Novi until this game-winning touch kill from senior Victoria Iacobelli. The Wildcats would take the first 2 games. Now to game 3. The Mustangs were all over Novi. This rivalry is intense. Northville would win game 3 25-14 with plays like this block from freshman Hannah Grant. On to game 4, tied at 20-all. A long rally sees a little bit of everything. Diving saves, spikes, blocks, and finally the finish from Iacobelli in this momentum-swinging point. Get up and get down. Iacobelli would finish off the Mustangs as Novi wins game 4 25-23, and they take the match 3-1.
Thanks for staying with us, State Champs fans. It's what you've all been waiting for. Coming up after the break, 2 rivals battling it out in one of the top matchups of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Can't wait until Sunday to get your high school football fix? Relax. 10 to 11 p.m. every Friday night, tune into the State Champs High School Football Radio Show on Detroit Sports 105.1. Tom Markowski, Scott Bernstein, and me, Lauren Plant, bring you the latest scores and breaking news. We'll take your calls, tweets, and emails. You can listen online or download the app. Great interviews, top-notch analysis, and all the latest scores. It's the State Champs High School Football Radio Show every Friday night from 10 to 11 p.m. on Detroit Sports 105.1.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
Clintondale Virtual School offers students accredited Michigan high school courses in just 8 weeks or less year-round. Students can retake failed classes to improve grades or just get ahead by taking courses in advance.
I retook my English course and it improved my GPA.
I was able to take a class that my school didn't offer. It lets me work at my own pace and I don't have to stress about asking questions all the time because those things make me nervous.
Get a second chance to get ahead. Go to ClintondaleVirtualSchool.com to enroll today.
Thanks for coming back to State Champs. The OAA is always one of the toughest volleyball conferences in the state. Clarkston has been the cream of the crop for years, but this year, both Birmingham Seaholm and Lake Orion are serious contenders. The Lake Orion Dragons have been knocking on the door for a while, and Seaholm's size could be the difference for the Maples. Lake Orion and Birmingham squared off on Thursday night. It's this week's main event. This OAA Red Division brouhaha between Birmingham Seaholm and Lake Orion would live up to the billing. This was a doozy. Seaholm looking to grab a share of the division title. First game action, both teams bringing it until the junior setter Emil Sakaskis, the kiss to Lauren McLeod, who finds the floor. With a win, Lake Orion would clinch the OAA Red outright, and this was the Dragons' 50th game of the season. Battle-tested and prevailing in the first, Ren McCauley sets up the senior Natalie Wenner, who's up and over with authority. Maples on the hunt for win number 20 overall on the season. Sakaskis over to the senior Annie Schechter, up top for one of her 15 kills. Seaholm evens it up in a game apiece. They would carry that momentum in Game 3. After another good rally, Schechter sends it to the southpaw Kate Carey, the soft touch. Seaholm took the third and led 2-1. Don't count out Lake Orion just yet. In the fourth, Corey Varney will set up Leia Kluger, the sweet spike. Dragons take Game 4, and we went to a 5th-game tiebreaker. The Maples weathered a late Lake Orion rally. This is match point. A battle, but it would be Seaholm Jr. Megan Legon with the dig, and Mr. Wilson drops in. Ball game. Birmingham Seaholm wins in dramatic fashion, 3-2. First time Seaholm has had a seat at the top of the OAA Red, which is now a 3-way tie with Lake Orion and Stony Creek. All three now at 5-1 in the division. 1 game to play next week. Let's go courtside to Lauren, who caught up with another Lauren. Take it away.
You guys just battled your hearts out on your home court, came out tied on top for the OAA Red. How are you feeling after that win?
Feels pretty great. You know, Lake Orion's one of the top teams in the state, and so we knew it was going to be a battle coming in. So I think I'm really just proud of my team for how hard we stuck with it and didn't give up even when we were down at a lot of times.
Well, congratulations on that big win.
Thank you.
Well, we hope you enjoyed another hour-long edition of State Champs. We go back to a half hour next week because we have a very special presentation that follows State Champs. Tyrone Wheatley is considered by some to be the greatest athlete in Michigan high school history. In the early 90s, Tyrone won over a dozen individual state titles in track and field, 1 team track title his junior year, and of course, his senior year at Dearborn Heights Robichaud, the school's only football state title. Took his talents to Michigan, where he was the MVP of the Rose Bowl, first-round draft pick in the NFL, a 10-year pro career. Legends. Tyrone Wheatley airs next week at 9:30 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Of course, State Champs airs each and every week at 9 a.m. Huge playoff implications in football next week. Lower Peninsula girls golf and boys tennis state finals too. See you then. State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughraiser.com for details. And Clintondale Virtual School. Your flexible education starts here.